Hey, the odd, I don't often make videos, but I sort of make one and talk about this because it's been on my mind quite a bit. And yeah, I just wanted to be talking about idols and idolatry and yeah, the idols and idolatry that we face in our current age. It's often gotten to me, so I thought I'd just talk about what I think and I've seen. Let's start off with, we'll look at the old idols. We had, Baals and statues and so on and so forth. And they would abide in temples and in homes and, in their person when they're traveling long distances. These idols we called upon, they were entertaining. People would, eat and drink, and it would cause, pagan revelry, which was seen in the people of Israel when they were engaging in idolatry. The idols were called upon, people trusted in them, they leaned on their idols and trusted in the works of their hands, and they even worshipped it. They believed and hoped, and they thought they could do like miracles. They actually thought these things were something more than just an object. God is continually rebuking them in the Old Testament, calling out that those who trust in idols, those who fashion idols, they're nothing. They, chop down a tree, take a piece of timber, and they start fashioning it. They take another piece, they start a fire, they cook bread upon it, eat the bread, and then fashion an idol out of the same piece of timber, and they fall down before it and say, "Deliver me, you are my God." He's continually bringing up idolatry because people thought these were something. They gave these things more credit than infinitely more credit than was due. They actually thought there was something in them. So in worshipping them, they would bow down to it, they'd consult it, they would treat it as if it's alive, they'd feast around it, and they'd feast to it. And then when the idolatry was rampant, they would commit sexual immorality because of it, and they would sacrifice their children to it. So it starts off as just a little, pocket buddy, fun little entertaining thing. But then when it really starts entering man's heart, it seems innocent, but when it enters man's heart, it really just corrupts him. I'm starting to see that happen in nowadays society. People say, your car can be an idol, anything can be an idol. And it's true, anything can be an idol. It could be a man, it could be a ball, my figure's so poorly drawn that I can't tell what it is, a cow. So it could be anything. It could be a woman, could be, Ashtaroth or whatever. Same as nowadays, anything can be an idol. But the thing that I'm trying to bring up is that the idolatry that's in the current day and age is far more dangerous than what it used to be. Because we don't just simply have these things, we do stuff with them. I think car idolatry is a thing, and it's a problem for people, but we've got to really be careful with these technologies. Because this phone, we keep it with us on our person. We've got the phone, it goes with us wherever we go. It's in our homes, we've got the TV at home, the laptop at home. What do? We use it as entertainment. We, bored instead of just, doing, which is what we were made to do. We were made and given the command, be fruitful and multiply, to go and subdue the earth and conquer it. Is there a time for rest in all of our works and existing? Yeah, of course. But I don't think just sitting and consuming is what we were made for. Just, sitting and consume. We use it as entertainment. We call upon it. What is the most popular phrase nowadays? And I'm guilty of saying this. Look it up. Google it. Just look it up. Google it. Check it out. What's it say? It's I don't think it's a good thing, that one, actually, because we see in the Garden of Eden, one of the things that tempted Eve was that the fruit was to be desired to make one wise. It's like a lust of our flesh. It's like a pride of our lives, that we want to just know and learn and advance ourselves. Is learning sinful? No. But I think that we go too far with look it up. That it gets to the point where, you could be considering it, calling upon this thing. Do I know something? No. Do I need to know it? No. Do I really, really desire to know? Yeah. I want to call upon this thing that I carry around with me everywhere. We trust in it. If we left house and forgot our phone, we'd die. Like, we have a lot of confidence in these things. We believe in it, and do we hope in it? I'm not sure. We definitely believe in it because we use it. If we didn't believe in it, we wouldn't have it. We would think it didn't exist. Believed it could do miracles miraculously. Maybe. Do we worship the work of our hands? Maybe. When the people are at home watching telly and it's just programming them, people definitely, Christians, I don't know, but non-believers definitely worship these things. It is definitely a practice of worship. Going down, sitting down while it's on top of the thing and just telling you all these things, you're just sitting there in a daze. There's no doubt that is worship. But what really gets me is that people are now bowing down to it. They can't even walk upright on the street. They're bowed down before it. We consult it. We think that because it's the internet, then it must be right. Check out what this person on Reddit says, or this person on Quora says. We really consult this thing more than people that we see, and it's actually scary because in our minds, when we say these websites or whatever, our brain instantly goes into the last time we've seen that website. But we forget that all those websites and all those things and all those non-tangibles exist within this physical object. I had someone say to me a while back that if I was to get rid of my phone and just get rid of it entirely and just not have a phone, that would be quite antisocial. That would be borderline leaving behind society. In one sense it's right, in one sense it's not right. But what really struck me was that is society so enveloped in this thing that unless you have it and are joined with the others that use it and have it, then you're not within society. Society has, this thing swallowed society up as a whole, and now to be with everyone else, you've got to sort of be inside this little bubble of those medias and such. I think that's very bad and scary, since this is only 35 years of technology, I think. Maybe it was out a little bit longer than that. We had portable mobile devices, but technology like this, like iPhones and laptops, like digital technology, it's only been out for maybe 30 years. And we're now having it drastically change the way our society functions, interacts with itself, and views reality. It's dangerous, and I think this is one of the reasons behind postmodernism in denying objective truth, because people don't live in the objective world anymore. People live on articles, and articles change, and therefore information changes, and if information changes, then truth changes, right? Well, no. I very much think that postmodernism is fueled by 50% Satan's doing and the other 50% because this thing has so much control. What people are being taught more from their phones than at school, or anywhere else really. And yeah, that's trust. That's putting faith in this thing. And yeah, it's not good. We treat it as if it's alive, as they treated those things as they were alive. In one sense, what's scary is that these things sort of have some sort of thing to themselves, where you plug them into the wall, and if they die, you plug it in, charge it up, give it battery, then it's all awake again. You can use it again. It just doesn't feel right, and when it gets really bad, I mean, we see people feasting around it, going to movies, watching, stuff like that, where they just go and feast and eat and watch movies. But then when it gets really bad, this sexual immorality, where people are watching, pornography on these things. I mean, if you went back and spoke to someone 150 years ago, like say you've got the timeline here, say this is 150 years ago, any time back from then, I think if you explained pornography to them, they'd be shocked, like they'd be stunned. The fact that you can whip up a portable screen device that's powered by itself, and you can look at these things like pornography. I mean, I think that just speaks volumes. And it's leading people into sexual immorality. Was there sexual immorality in the world before iPhones? Yes, I'm not denying that whatsoever. But this leads people into sexual immorality. The example I use a lot is look at Sodom and Gomorrah. If you didn't live in Sodom and Gomorrah and you wanted to go live with all the homosexuals, and you didn't want to be, an outcast in your town or in your city, then you had to trek your way over to Sodom and Gomorrah. If you wanted to be with the homosexuals, then you had to go all the way over there and be with them physically. But now, if you want to find, a group of people that you want to share this particular bad thing with, like pornography or homosexuality, pedophilia, whatever it may be, you can just go there digitally. You don't need to go there physically. You can just pull it up on here, and you can commune with those people, one to the other. You don't need to be there physically. It's linking up these pathways. It's leading people into these things. It's a route. It's making a route easier for them to take. It's like a shortcut. And child sacrifice. I see that too, not in a sense that people are killing their children, although you could make the argument that because of these technologies, people are so selfish nowadays that they would much rather murder their child who's in their womb so that they can live their life now, and just do what they want. That you could argue that is child sacrifice. I think there's another one though, and it's that people just don't even care about their children anymore. I've seen so many times, you've got the family having dinner at a restaurant or wherever, and the child, being a child, just starts crying and causing problems and whatnot. And so someone just hands him an iPhone and he's glued. Problem solved, right? You just plug the kid in, let him just do something on the phone. Just, I don't care, but type on WhatsApp or send messages to yourself or watch YouTube. As long as you just stop crying and your presence won't be heard anymore. Because mum and dad, they want to enjoy their not having their child be a problem. It's like you have a baby, you have to clean up poo, you have to deal with a crying child, you have to do this. It's just part and parcel of having a child. But it's like, you've got this phone now, here, just chuck the kid a phone, let him be quiet. It's almost like this, to get rid of it. Same as like I see so often, not just women, but fathers, everyone, taking their kids for a walk in the park. They're pushing the stroller. One hand's on the stroller, the other hand holding the iPhone, and they're just glued to the phone. It's like, are you even out with your child, or are you out just with the phone? And the child is just an extra. It's like, oh, kill two birds with one stone. I can be on the phone, and I can, be doing this thing, I guess, 50-50. Yeah, it's awful. We don't grasp, because we see it so often. I don't think we grasp how bad this is. Really, you have a child. There's women that cannot give birth. There's women whose wombs are closed, or whose ovaries are just gone. There's men whose seed is gone. There's people who can't give birth, and you've been graced with a child who's living, healthy, functional, and you're able to go out with a stroller to take it about, and you're not in a country where your child's just going to be abducted and you're going to be killed. And your main focus is what's going on YouTube or on Instagram. You have no care whatsoever towards your child. I think it's just really, really bad. It shows that our desires have become so short-lived. We used to have say this is a 20-year-old, and this is the end of their life, or say 70. We used to have desires. It was like, save up, have a house, family, kids, grandparents. In old age, I want to have a house, and I want to have, the family all in the house together, have grandkids, and enough money saved up that, we can sort of enjoy retirement comfortably. But now it's like we sort of shrunk, because our ability to wait for things, our ability to hope further ahead, our ability to focus less on the present desires. I think our desires and our motives and our intentions and our just things have become so more impatient, more temporal. We're so focused more on the immediate pleasure that we can get. This stuff just sort of, we sort of forget about that. It's all about just the here and the now. That's just eat, drink, and be merry. Just here and now. What's here and now? You can eat and you can drink, and you got your phone right in front of you. You're set. Never mind that you've got this child whose life you're responsible for. This person who is going to supposedly grow up and be a normal adult in the world. Your care level is just so low if you're doing this, and I see so many people doing it. Forgive my rant, but yeah, I see that as somewhat of a, if you don't want to argue abortion, you could sort of push the envelope to child sacrifice as well. And I think it's just, I don't know, I just very much don't like the way that, the lo and behold technology is coming out, and how quickly it's just shaping society and warping it. It's like a modern day god. If you went and you did something to the local pizzeria, you smashed their windows and whatnot, so what, big deal. If you went and smashed some windows at the Apple factory, it'd be worldwide news or something. These things are treated as tremendous things. I don't know, we just have such a high value on these technologies. The scary thing is when you look at these technologies, what does it do? Well, this technology links you up to the world, as I said with Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like a little, hooks you up to the World Wide Web. You get to connect with everyone. You get, the whole world at your fingertips. It's great. You don't need to worry about all these things that you got going on. Just the world and all its pleasures right there, wherever you want it. You want to go traveling when you're older? Don't worry. Who was it? David Beckham's going traveling. He's showing you all the different food places that you can eat in Italy. Just stay at home and watch it on TV. You've got the world at your fingertips. You want to do this, you want to do that, just watch about it. Just look it up. Check it out. I don't know, and then you've got the, you've got it linking you up to the internet. Hooks you up to the world and the internet. This, I suppose you could say they're sort of one, but you've got the internet, which is invisible. It is sort of knows heaps of things. It's got a collection of all people on social media. It's everyone is there. Everyone's on it. It's the internet. It's not a tangible thing. It's non-tangible. It's everywhere. It's all around you. And what else? Everyone's got their cameras out. If you do anything, you're getting recorded and put on social media. And there's cameras, street cameras everywhere, shopping centers, malls, and it tracks you wherever you go. It's got GPS tracking and signals. What else? Well, yeah, it's pretty powerful if you consider it. In a few seconds, all the information at your fingertips. If there weren't firewalls, you could just log into government websites and access all the nukes. You've got Trump pushing a button. If Trump pushed a tweet or Biden pushed a tweet, the stock market could change. It's very powerful. They control the market. Thousands of people's jobs are at stake if people use it poorly, if they misuse it poorly or whatever. Got the sort of like an unholy trinity there. Yeah. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was where the word of it came, technology. The word technology comes from techne and logia, from Greece, the Greek language. Techne meaning arts and craft, skill, trade, craft, learning, societal growth, whatever, that sort of genre of things, and logia meaning word. In one sense, technology means world words, or word of the world, or if you really wanted to boil it down. And I don't know if this is twisting it. Maybe I'm twisting it, maybe I'm not. I think it's fair enough to say that this is the book of the world. And instead of picking up, the Bible, which is the tangible, the word is, we don't see the Father. The Spirit we do not see, but we can read and hold the word. instead of picking up the Bible to go to God. There's a lot of people picking up the word of the world to connect to the world, and this internet, which is sort of the non-tangible copycat of God, invisible, omniscient, omnipresent, all-seeing, GPS tracking on everything. Wherever you go and your phone goes, it knows where you've gone, and it tracks and it writes all these things down, every single place that you've been to. You can check your log history. It's omnipotent, it's non-tangible, it's... I feel like I have to sell this to people. Like, is this not enough? Like, I'm sorry, but is this not enough? I don't want to get upset and angry, but I'm just looking at this objectively, and this is Satan's Trinity. This is Satan's Trinity. And it's like, oh yeah, fair enough. I could sort of see it. I don't know if this is just me spending too much time thinking about it, but is this not Satan's Trinity? Like, am I going crazy? And sooner or later, we're getting so close. I mean, I could make the argument that the fact that all this has come about in only about 30 years, let's remember, 30 years, and it's enveloping society and making drastic changes to the point where entire countries are having suicide rates go higher, and Japan is struggling to build families because men just aren't marrying women because they just go and see prostitutes or watch pornography. Like, can you imagine that? Whole societies are just struggling with marriage and low population because just a couple of generations have left behind marriage and just gone to watch pornography or develop online relationships. What's that word about movies, sci-fi? It's like we're in the whole, I can't remember that word, but it's like we're in the hypothetical, the futuristic, fancy-pantsy, crazy, like, ooh, yeah, fancy, like, I can't think of the word, but just, like, we're in it. It's warping society and people's minds. There's studies going on about how, technology use gives, radiation effects to children's brains, and, people, most people have a social media iPhone addiction, and it's programming them, and people that run these companies, they use techniques to try and program people and advertise. Like, it's just, nonchalant. We think that, you'd think, oh, if I saw a hoverboard, then I'd think, okay, now we've really gotten to the, whatever that word I'm looking for is. If I saw a hoverboard or a flying pig, then I'd think, we're starting to get into the futuristic world. We're in the futuristic world now. Like, it's here. And what I was saying was, people want to put it in their bodies now. People want to get this thing inserted into them. Get a little chip on the hand or something. Chip on the hand or chip on the forehead. Like, people have known for years that, and hypothesized, whatever the word is, hypothesized about, the mark of the beast will be, a microchip. I think it may be, because people are starting to put this in their bodies now. And I think that, no doubt, is going to be the mark, because what is it? You've got one hand or the other. You've got people, these just to symbolize desires. You can hope and wait for things to get better, for the Lord to return. The world's getting bad. There's murder. There's all these kinds of bad things. You can hope in God that He'll return and Christ will come and make things all better. and you can, you know, wait on heaven, and, you know, wait for glory to come, or you can just, you know, reach out and grab the apple, get the mark on your hand. And yeah, I mean, I shouldn't really need to explain much about how the mark is the mark of the beast, but just to go into minor explanation of it, you know, you've got like the microchip. What would be the microchip advertising or entailing? Well, people aren't just going to get it. There's going to be some purpose for it. Oh, you can. What do we see? The purpose is currently developing. This is happening right now. Amazon is paying their workers through it. They're getting paid not into their bank system or whatever. They're getting paid in their little hand chip. And it's also happening in Costco now in America, where you're able to pay when you're leaving the store. You just scan your hand. It really frustrates me, but yeah, you just scan your hand. So pay is one. What's another one? People they want incentive. Like, why would they just get a mark in their hand? That's weird. That's bad. People aren't just going to do that. So how's it going to be pleasant? How's it going to be desirable? Well, it's also going to give you health. You know, we're going to put the vaccine thing on it. You're going to have your I believe this is already in development. People are going to be able to track all of their health records ever, and their vaccine status and their heart health and all the sorts of things, like in regards to your health, in their chip. You know, it's gonna be like you go to the airport, you scan your hand, they check your history, you're not sick, you've not taken drugs recently, you know, oh, you're good to go. We approve. And then your benefit, well, if you get sick, you get a text message on your iPhone that your microchip has detected a virus, and then you go to the doctors, and then you get another vaccine, and you get a little tick on your phone because your hand detected your vaccine, and you Bluetooth to it or whatever. Just, it's really bad. It sounds like I'm making this up, but I would not be surprised in the least if there were news articles on this. And what else is going to be on it? Well, there's going to be sorry, it's tired and my voice is starting to go, and now I can't even speak really, but yeah, very tired. But yeah, it's going to be entertainment. It's going to be, you know, desirable. You know, forget the next iPhone. You know, check this out. We've got something bigger. You know, forget a big pair of headphones. Forget more accessible AirPods. You know, how about music in your head? Yeah, that's right. With this new chip, you can listen to music in your head. You can surf the web with your brain chip. You can link up. You can just, you know, post a tweet from your brain. You can just, you know, think, and you'll post a tweet. It's gonna bring you happiness. You know, forget all the times where you had bad memory, or struggling with this, or you just, you know, your performance at work isn't great. Check this out. We're gonna link you up to the internet, and then you'll be better. You know, it's gonna bring happiness. Yeah, like and there we see swap pay for wealth. What do you have right there? Health, wealth, and happiness. You've got the little, you know, that's what people need. That's what people want. You got the health, wealth, and happiness. Health, wealth, happiness. And then to top it off, if we want to go even further down the rabbit hole, which I don't think this is going down the rabbit hole, this is just talking about what's on the news right now, is the reason why Elon Musk is not only doing, there's there's the hand chips, which is mark on the right hand or on the forehead. Musk is doing a brain chip. Why is Musk doing a brain chip? Well, because AI is coming. So as far as I've heard, Musk knows that AI, sentient true AI, will make humans obsolete. They'll just be able to do jobs. They'll take over most places in the workplace because they'll be able to just do things better. And it's remarkable that we're in an age where this is a discussion. Like as I'm going through this, I'm marveling. But yeah, Musk says that he says that he's scared that humans are going to be wiped out. They're going to be useless. And he says that if we can link people up to the internet, then they stand a chance at not being useless in the next age. And I'll just go back to the Garden of Eden. Why was the tree so special? It was different from other trees. It had the knowledge of good and evil. But what was Satan? What was it that Eve was tempted by? Sorry, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. And Satan was saying to her, you will be like God. God knows that when you eat of it, you'll not surely die, but he knows that when you eat of it, you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. Look at this. If you just get it in your hand or you get it in your head, it's going to be an upgrade. No more boring old this or that. You're going to advance. This is the new generation of people. This is mankind 2.0. And yeah, call me a conspiracy theorist, but the mark is not going to be just here. Put this in your hand and say that you worship Satan. No one's going to do it. If the whole world worships the beast and marvels and follows the beast, it's not going to be something that's just labeled Satan. It's going to be desirable. It's going to be like a whole, wow, look at this fancy, shiny, cool. Imagine, just get your iPhone, get a small one under your skin. Wow, it's going to be something big. Yeah, I suppose it's going to look just like it looked to Eve in the garden. It's going to look like the next step. This is like, whoa, got all the health, maybe in the future as well when technology advances and I can hook my brain up or do this or that. Maybe we'll be able to make humans live longer. People won't die. We'll conquer death. And then if you organize it right, we can get the brain chip to release certain chemicals in the brain so that we can fight depression. You can just, when you're feeling down, you log on to your microchip app or your brain chip app, and you just say, I'm feeling really stressed and down today, and you just put the slider up, and dopamine comes out, or serotonin, and your body is now releasing these chemicals because of your brain chip. This is just to think about these things which sound phenomenally crazy, and yet they're at our fingertips. They're right in front of us. This isn't far away. Elon Musk says, they've already done human trials and stuff, but they're really working towards brain chips within the next 5 years, from what I understand. And if this is just 30 years, where we're having entire societies enveloped by this technology, people don't go out and talk to each other on the street. I see people walk, the other day, some lady walked by me while I was holding a wheelbarrow of bricks coming out of a garage, and I thought, I'm probably going to surprise her. That's a bit of an odd sight, guy just carrying around all these bricks. and she didn't even notice. Like, I watched her eyes; they didn't even flinch. Like, I didn't even enter her focal point. Like, people are being changed by these things. Entire societies, like, in 30 years, that's happening. All this has happened. What is 5 years and a brain chip gonna do? Like, I mean, come on. Like, I feel like I have to exaggerate to make it sound more. I feel like I have to exaggerate to put a bit of a red flag there. The whole thing should be a red flag. This is all serious. And now, am I freaking out because, oh, this and that? Well, no. I have my hopes set in Christ. I'm not touching any of these technologies. I'm not getting another vaccine. I believe Revelation 18:22 to 23 or 4. But the entirety of Revelation 18 speaks of the state that we're in right now. I'm no longer in support of the vaccine. I believe it was a scam. And why do I believe it was a scam? Because I believe the Bible, there's a prophecy fulfilled in it. So yeah, my hope is in Christ. I don't want to ramble too much more on this. Originally it was about idolatry, but it ended up being more about this stuff. But yes, this is to address any conversations I've had with people, to explain my point of view, my thoughts, the things I've thought about and seen. Tell me if I'm wrong. I won't get worked up if you tell me I'm wrong. I get worked up looking at this stuff. But yeah, like, if you see this, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this, tell me that. I see it plain as day, but I won't be the first to say whatever the saying is. I won't say that I'm infallible. I very much get things wrong all the time. And so tell me if I've just got a blind spot. But yeah, God bless.